2.5% COLA. Like,
Oh,
one was the cost for the county to pick up the increase.
well, we know that now, so we'll just discuss.
Yeah.
We might be live. Okay, go for it. So let's go.
We good? Okay.
I think.
Call the March 26th Commission meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Clearly, we're really popular today. There's a lot of
Yes.
people here. Okay, so public comment on any subject not on the agenda that Commission has jurisdiction over. Is there any public comment?
I just want to, if anybody's listening or watch this later, the airport board, or the airport upgrade will be starting. There's already some equipment out there. It will depend on the weather. So between the water project for the city and the county project for the airport, it's going to be very busy out there. So I just want to let people know part of that construction project is the airport.
All right, thank you. Is there any other public comment? Other public comments? Okay. All right, first item on the agenda, discussion decision, appointment of Barb DeMartin to the Broadwater County Rural Volunteer Fire Department Board. So with this, they did have a board member, Daniel Davis, had to resign off the board. He found that there were some conflicts of interest, and he very kindly wrote a letter thanking everyone. When this happens, because the fire district is separate from the county, they're their own district, per Montana Code annotated 7-33-2106, an appointment to fill a vacancy occurring during the term of office of a trustee must be made by the county governing body, and the appointee shall hold office until the next trustee election. So the fire district board has sent on a letter recommending Barb DeMartin, and I will just read the letter real quick. Broadwater County Commissioners, the Broadwater Rural Fire District Board of Trustees would like you to consider appointing Barbara DeMartin to finish the trustee term vacated by Daniel Davis. We think that Barb will fill the position and work well as a trustee with her background in the county and as a retired firefighter. Sincerely, Tom Schindel. He's the chairman. So it is our job today to go ahead and accept that appointment if we should so decide to do that.
For 1 year remaining, is that correct?
Yes, correct. It will be, it's a 1 year, it's the last year of the term. And you know, I think a lot of people know Barb has pretty extensive experience working with volunteer fire in Toston.
No, I would move to approve the appointment of Barb DeMartin in the, let me start over. Move to approve Barb DeMartin to the Broadwater County Rural Volunteer Fire Department Board for the 1 year term, or the remainder of the 1 year.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve Barb DeMartin to the Broadwater County Rural Volunteer Fire Department Board to finish out Daniel Davis's term. Is there any public comment?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Excuse me. Just a slight correction.
Yes.
Fire District Board.
Fire District, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What did
no,
I say?
Department. It gets confusing.
Fire District. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Fire District. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none, all those in favor of appointing Barb DeMartin to the Fire District Board, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay. Was Debbie Kelly coming over?
I thought so.
Okay. We will, how about we jump and do some claims and give an extra minute in there, and we won't be too ahead. Yeah, we can do that.
I don't have it. Let me.
Thank you, Daleen.
9201.
Thank you.
All right, we have a couple minutes that were done and somehow kind of slipped through the cracks on us to get signed. They were from last July. We did look into it, and as the chair now, I can sign those. They have been reviewed thoroughly. The first set is from July 3rd. I'm just going to make a note of this. And the second set is from July 10th.
I will move to approve the minutes from July 3rd and July 10th, 2024.
Go ahead. I was going to second since you weren't here. I was just.
That might be better, actually.
Okay. I will second that. Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve minutes from July 3rd and July 10th. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay. Oh, I should sign those. Be good. Forgot to get off the pen.
Do you have Michelle Beebe's number?
Find it, I think.
I don't have them saved. Oops. Why don't we do this?
9271.
Now it's all.
9276.
And here.
Nope, 9202. I was looking at the fax number. 9202.
Okay, sorry about that. And if not, we'll call out clerk and recorder's office and they can.
So we get that on there. Get these to Angie. We can go through a couple claims if you would like.
Okay.
Man, we're exciting today. All right. Okay, first claim. First claim, where are we? Sorry. It's for $14,912.
I would move to approve the claims, $14,912.
I second that.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve claims for $14,912. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Any public comment? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. There you go. Okay, 426. Thank you. All right. I'm going to go ahead. We've got two more, so let's just
Yep,
finish those
go
up.
through.
That's fine. Okay.
Please.
Second claim is for $113,000. 113. I'm sorry.
I did this
try
last
that.
week. It
We're going
was-
to try it all over again. $113,426.31.
I move to approve the claims in the amount of $113,426.31.
And I'll second that.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve claims for $113,400 and wow.
You're right.
I had that yesterday.
Good grief. Okay, I'm sorry. $113,426.31. Thank you. Jeez Louise. Okay. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We can do this. We can do it. Okay, why is there... Hey, Debbie, since you're here, I'm a little confused. Can you come look at this real quick? I've got two. We've got this claim for the 113,426, right, which is on the ticket. But in the back, this is also highlighted.
I think here's the second half on the back side when she printed it. I think. Oh, I think it's because it's when she printed it, there's probably two. I think this.
So should this be a separate claim? There's no signatures on this, though. So if I run this as a second claim, I'll have to sign there for a second claim. I'll have to do this one first. Sorry, I'll just.
I'm not sure. We'd have to check with Michelle, honestly. I'm not sure how those print up like that.
Okay, I've just never seen that before. So I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna sign off here. Okay. Because I don't know what this is either. I mean, usually there's not a total. See how there's not totals in the columns, and usually has its own total as well. So what that is, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so I think if we add that to this, we get the 113.
Can we make sure?
Yes.
So, all right.
So 112.
Oh, and I was on it right there.
Nothing like being under pressure, huh?
Yeah. 112.
942.
942.
0.37.
27. What was that for?
And then 483.94. 113.
Yeah, there we go. That's weird. I've never seen that.
I'm not.
Total
This
that
might
way.
have been a last-minute extra claim we had to throw in,
Okay.
or one I had to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
You go. This needs restapled. This is the 13, whatever.
Yeah. I even have a stapler.
Oh, you do? That's out.
I mean, it
Just
was
like
here.
pulled it out of the drawer. Boom.
I'd like to take credit that I was prepared for it, but no.
For now, we know there's one in there.
Exactly.
All right. Fun times. Okay. Next claim. Last claim. $35,705.09.
I'll move to approve the claim in the amount of $35,705.09.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve claim for $35,705.09. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Any public comment? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, sir. Okay, next up, discussion decision, Debbie Kelly, Finance Officer, Payroll Manager, Insurance Review Committee rate increase proposal.
Good morning, Commissioners. Debbie
Good
Kelly,
morning. Good morning.
Finance Office. So, just before I got here, based on questions from earlier, I went back a few years on the increase that the trust has imposed on our premiums every year. And the last 5 years has been a 2% increase, which equates to about $1 more every year, except for this year. And they jumped it to 5%, which jumped up to $76 more for a monthly total on the premiums.
So it's, I'm sorry to stop you, it's 76?
It went up $76 is the 5%. Up from the current base.
$76.
So it totals in equivalent to dollars, yes, $76
And that's the increase.
or
that will-
5% is what the 5% from the trust.
Right, but that's the increase that it's going to cost the
Right.
employee.
For the total premium, not
A month, that's the monthly
That's
increase.
per person.
$76 a month per
Per
person.
person, correct.
For their insurance that they pay.
So, trying to come up with some numbers, the auditors have provided a spreadsheet for the permissive levy to help us calculate what it's gonna cost so that we don't over levy our permissive. And what it equates to based on their excuse me, from last year's rate at the 2%, the 2.5, and we budget a little extra to account for those that aren't hired by June 30th, which is averaging about 3 people a year, to kind of help offset those costs. So that between our general health and our permissive levy, we have enough to get us through that pinch when we start the new fiscal year. If that makes sense. It's kind of a budgeting. We don't go to the penny because it's fluid. Employees come and go and are fluid.
Right.
So if somebody leaves and we don't get them hired right away, there's usually a little bit of savings.
Right.
We don't carry that in the permissive. It stays in the regular general health.
And traditionally, the county has picked up that 2%. You're
And
saying.
in the last 5 years that I could see, the county has always picked up the next 3 months till the end of the fiscal year. And they've graciously kept that, picking up that 5% for the following fiscal year. So the employees have not had to pick up any of that increase from year to year.
Okay, so the county picks it up for the last 3 months.
They typically picked it up the
okay.
last 3 because our budgets are set based on the current rate. So then the county picks up that increase. Then at budget time, they've always had the caveat that they may or they may not expect the employees to pick up part of that cost in the new fiscal year, which they haven't in the last 3-4 years, maybe even 5.
The county has picked it up.
The county has continued to pick it up,
Yeah.
so the employees have not had to
Increase.
incur any of the
Yeah.
additional increase costs.
But this is the most significant
But
increase we've seen in
in
a long time.
quite a few years.
Okay.
I know there was a couple first years after we went with the trust, there was like a 13% increase. They claimed that on all the new technology and the insurance industry, and every insurance carrier increased their fees. I think it was a little excessive, but I think they go and they do that. They don't tell you this, but they look at claim utilization
Of course.
and base it on that. And when we first went, we did have some people who had some serious health issues that medications and things cost a lot of money. So I think that got passed on to the rest of us. They won't tell you that, but you know the insurance industry, you know how that works.
So let me ask a question.
Sorry. Excuse me.
We obviously, one of the benefits of working for the county is we do have
Good
great
insurance.
health care. Having paid for private health care for a very, very long time, it's good health care. Hang on. Hi, Matt. We'll be right with you, okay? Thanks. My question is, and that is a bonus, because obviously we have trouble competing with private employers for pay. So this is a perk in working with the county. Is it possible for us to pick up a portion of that since the increase was so much this year?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we could do a portion. We don't have to do all or nothing.
Right,
It can be
right.
our choice.
No,
Okay.
it's definitely your decision, because you never know what taxes are going to bring in, what the feds are going to say. This is your cost of living increases. We're passing on to you. You know what all your expenses are going to be and whether you can pick it up based on projects you know you got to cover this year, from each year to year. It's just been a kind of a blessing to try to keep and retain decent employees.
Yeah.
You know, anytime an employee leaves, it costs more to recruit new people than the one that we had before, because they always want different pay, different terms.
Okay. When do we need to make this decision by?
The absolute drop dead date is April 8th. And that's so that I can make sure that the deduction is right in withholding, so we pay the bill, and updating each individual employee record to whatever amount is decided upon by the commissioners. And that does take a little time to go into each of those records.
Sure.
Okay.
So, you know.
I personally think we could wait and talk about this more next week, especially after compensation board meeting and those discussions.
Madam
There.
Chairman, I would agree with you
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
on next Wednesday's
Yeah.
commission meeting.
Yep.
yeah,
Okay.
Please.
because it does depend on what the compensation board recommends as well. I know Bill, once I got my email up and going, has sent something based on the feds, which looking at, the increase that he gave and what he's looking at, I kind of had already done some of that at the 2.5% versus 3.5%. So we're right in the target range of what he suggested here and what I had come up with on my own.
Thank you. We'll that meeting is later today,
Yeah.
and so we'll talk about that, and then maybe we will have a better idea of what we'll discussion next week. Thank you.
It's not an easy process, and I don't envy you, and so I appreciate all that you do in helping with this. We've had it easy. This year was not. I even found it difficult. So,
Sorry. I think economics and
Yes.
everything going on right now is a lot of unknown, and we'll figure it out. We'll crunch some
and
good
as far
numbers.
as our wages too, that's the other factor that we don't know. We usually don't get our work comp rate changes, if there is any, our unemployment changes, until closer to May. So even calculating what the employee and employer cost would be to get a little more definitive numbers is hard. I tried every which way I could to come up with what seemed like an equitable total, and it just, I was wasting my time.
That's all right. Thank
Madam
you.
Chair, I have one question.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I just want to confirm, we have 68 employees that have,
That are on the health insurance
Okay.
currently.
thank you, that's
Yes.
all.
And that always fluctuates a little bit based on open positions and whether they're filled or not by the end of June. That factor is part of the permissive requirements that we can only budget based on the people on payroll.
Perfect.
And I
Thank
think
you.
that's why we've always had the two different, so that we have the permissive, which is finite and limited and restricted, and then the general health
Thank
covers
you.
the difference, so.
I don't have any other questions.
No,
No, I
nothing
don't think I
else?
do
Okay.
either.
All right.
Just see what happens with
See you next Wednesday.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, tonight, this afternoon,
Oh, yeah. That
compensation
too.
board, as an observer, or in case there's questions.
All right. Thanks, Debbie.
Okay, perfect.
All right, next item. Matt, you're up. Thank you. Except I say you're up, but you're on deck, I guess, because Nicole's going to kick it off. Discussion decision, Nicole Brown, Community Development and Planning Director, QSC Boundary Relocation Exemption Request, Section 11, 13, and 14, Township 6 North, Range 3 East.
Good
Hi.
morning, Commissioners. Nicole Brown, Broadwater County Community Development Director and Planner, here to present to you a boundary relocation requested by Mr. Roland DeRocher. The owners of the property are QSC Trust. So with that, you should have in front of you a copy of the certificate of survey showing the boundary relocation request. You should also have a copy of the affidavit and my staff report. All of these items were posted online for the public's pleasure as well. So with that, Madam Chairman, if I may read the staff report.
Please do.
All right, this is a staff report for a boundary relocation for Mr. Roland DeRocher, or at the request of Mr. Roland DeRocher. The deadline for the county to take action is April 2nd, 2025, which means you are under no obligation to make a decision today. The applicant is QSC Trust. Executive summary. The exemption request, as presented to the Broadwater County Commissioners, is a proposal to amend 2 lots utilizing a boundary relocation exemption. The QSC Trust partners are proposing a boundary relocation between 2 properties, both under their ownership. On December 30th, 2019, Neil Boma filed a greater than 160-acre exemption survey, creating 7 parcels greater than 160 acres. On December 4th, 2020, Neil Boma filed a family transfer exemption on these properties, creating 2 additional tracts for gift to his immediate family members, 1 parcel to each of his parents. On January 7th, 2021, Mr. Boma filed a boundary relocation for a portion of these properties. The family transferred lots were not boundary relocated. Mr. DeRocher purchased all of these properties from Neil Boma on May 7th, 2021. Mr. DeRocher subsequently sold Parcel 2, which is 395.72 acres, and Tract 6, which is 286.06 acres, to QSC Trust in 2025. With the submittal of these boundary relocation exemption requests, QSC Trust is proposing to relocate the boundaries of these two established parcels. Parcel 2 will be known as Parcel 2A and will become 646.14 acres. Tract 6 will be known as Parcel 6A and will become 35.64 acres. Boundary relocation statutes. Montana Code Annotated 76.3.2071A provides for divisions made outside of platted subdivisions for the purpose of relocating common boundary lines between adjoining properties. Montana Code Annotated 76.4.103 provides sanitation exemptions for parcels greater than 20 acres in size. Exclusive of public roadways are not subject to Department of Environmental Quality review. All parcels will continue to be greater than 20 acres in size if the use of this exemption is approved. Request. The owner of these parcels is requesting approval of the use of the boundary location exemption. Location. The properties are located off of Ridge Road in sections 11, 13, and 14 of Township 6 North, Range 3 East. These properties are approximately 10 miles southeast of the city of Townsend. Existing development and uses in all directions is agricultural. Project uses. Wastewater. All parcels are and will continue to be subject to review and/or approval from the Environmental Health Office and subject to 1736(9) of the Administrative Rules of Montana. No septic systems are installed on any of the parcels. Since no new parcels nor structures are being proposed, there will be no additional review required by the Broadwater County Environmental Health Officer other than to ensure the appropriate sanitation exemptions are cited on the proposed COS. Access. All properties will have direct access to Ridge Road, a county road. If any additional approaches are to be constructed, they will be required to apply for a county road approach permit from the Broadwater County Public Works Department. Ridge Road receives once annually road maintenance. Water. No residential wells are constructed nor being proposed at this time. Public health and safety. Because of the distance from the nearest emergency services building, particularly a fire station, and the proximity to nearby forested acreage, there is a danger of forest fires. Should these parcels be used for residential purposes, all future lot owners should be made aware of the steep terrain and oftentimes unpassable nature of Ridge Road in the winter months. No snow removal by the County Public Works Department occurs along this section of Ridge Road. There is also no school bus turnaround approximate to these properties. There is a high probability that much of these properties are in excess of 15% slope, which would render them unbuildable according to the Broadwater County subdivision regulations if this were submitted as a subdivision application. No structures are being transferred through this proposed boundary relocation. There is an existing 60-foot wide county road easement through these properties for Ridge Road right-of-way. Conclusion. Pursuant to 76.3.2071 MCA, which states, unless the method of disposition is adopted for the purpose of evading this chapter, the following divisions or aggregations of tracts of record of any size, regardless of the resulting size of any lot created by the division or aggregation, are not subdivisions under this chapter, but are subject to the surveying requirements of 76.3.401 for divisions or aggregations of land other than subdivision, and are subject to applicable zoning regulations adopted under Title 76, Chapter 2, Subitem A, which states divisions made outside of platted subdivisions for the purpose of relocating common boundary lines between adjoining properties. And that concludes my report.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
This seemed very straightforward.
Yep.
And I want to thank Matt Morris, who's on the phone with us, who is the surveyor, for working with the landowners to get this done. It's a lot more clear than what was previously presented to us a few months back, several months back. But yeah, this is, I didn't have any specific questions. Did either of you have any?
I don't either. That's very straightforward boundary location. Yeah.
The only, it's not a question, just a comment that we often get about, and it's in the report, but I just want to state it again, snow plowing on Ridge Road.
Mm-hmm.
We oftentimes, TJ gets those calls, and there's not any. Well, not all the way up.
Right. Yep.
So, just for the record.
Yeah,
That was my only
That's a good,
comment.
very good point. Just good expectations.
I
Go ahead.
would like
Matt.
to comment on that,
Please do.
if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I typically put a disclaimer on the top of all of my surveys stating that services may not be offered by whether it be Broadwater or any specific county, including but not limited to those concerns. It's non-binding, but it is an acknowledgement that those services may not be issued or
Thank you.
provided by the county.
Yeah,
Thank you, Matt. That makes it even more clear.
Yep.
So that's a great idea, and we appreciate that.
Could you hear Debbie, Matt?
I did.
Okay.
Like I say, I don't know if it does any good, but I feel
Doesn't
that
hurt.
it's worthwhile.
We can only do so much.
Yep, no, it doesn't hurt. Yep, people know. All right, well, thank you. I don't,
I believe the survey's been reviewed by your ELS, and we addressed the comments that Mr. Schauber provided.
okay.
If the board so chooses, we'd be happy to forward the survey for him for final review and signature, to have for your board to take action, have a final review at the next meeting if you'd like. Just give me guidance as to what you'd like.
No, I don't think we need to do that. I feel pretty prepared to make a decision on this today. Is there any other? Go ahead.
And I just didn't see an email from her, but did Megan look at it? I know these are well over 20, but I didn't see any email come through from her with any comments or anything.
Madam Chair, would you like me to respond?
Please.
Commissioner Swenson, this was forwarded on to Megan, but I had not received any comments from her, which I can reach out to her again and make sure if she has any comments regarding the
Like I
language
said,
on the
with
survey.
them being over,
but-
especially anything over 20, but these are quite large, so I don't see there being any issue. I just was making sure it got to her. So.
Yep. Are there any other comments or thoughts?
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
Is there a motion?
I would move to approve the QSC boundary location exemption request for located in section 11, 13, and 14 in Township 6 North, Range 3 East.
Okay.
I will second that.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
Oh,
I'm out of practice. It was because I was gone for 2 weeks. Sorry. All right. There's been a motion and a second to approve the QSC boundary relocation exemption request, section 11, 13, and 14, Township 6 North and Range 3 East. Is there any public comment?
No.
Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Okay. Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Director Brown. We got claims done. Are there any other announcements?
No,
Trying to think of, do we have anything exciting going on?
no.
Don't say that out loud. I attended the Broadwater Community Connect. I think that's the right word for it. Last night, that was very good. Lots of people. There's lots of good organizations in this town looking to help people, and of course, I can't remember. They have a website, and it might be broadwatercommunityconnect.com. I can't remember off the top of my head, but access to a lot of resources for people in our community. Quite a range. A lot of people doing good work.
Cool.
Can't think of anything else. Oh, Parks and Rec survey. It's open.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
It's open until the 28th, so until Friday.
Friday.
So,
Yeah.
and I don't, there's not a specific website for it. There's a QR code. But
It's on our website.
it's
though.
on our website. Thank you. And go to our website and look under news and public, I believe, news under Parks and Rec too. And it will be posted, and you can do it all online. There's different concept ideas for the properties at Canton Lane, off of Canton Lane and Centerville. So 2 different properties, a few different design concepts for each one, and you can make comments on what you like, what you don't like, and just thoughts on it. And again, they are all concepts. None of this is a done deal. These are just thoughts. We're trying to get some stuff moving forward just for planning's sake for those county-owned properties. So.
I have been asked that frequently. Are we going to do one of these? not as it stands. It's a piecemeal. This works, this doesn't work. It's a starting point on all of them.
Yep.
I think some people thought one of those is going to be selected. I don't think that will happen as it's presented now.
No,
They're
there's
just
going to be
idea
tweaks,
builders.
they're just ideas, and we're looking for more feedback from the public.
Yeah.
We've actually had a great response, I believe
Yeah.
over 300 comments at this point on different things for those two properties. And so concepts, the master plan is going to take into account everybody's suggestions, ideas, as well as cost and things
Oh,
like
that?
trash pickup and all the fun questions that everybody has. So-
Employees. and-
Yes, yes, maintenance. So please take the survey and provide your comments. It's open until the 28th. And with that, that's all I have.
Okay.
Okay, we are adjourned.